clip right here. So pretty much Singapore is actually their manufacturing is picking up. Those places are picking up because they actually dealt with the virus much better than we did, even though they have less money, whatever. So you play this clip, Phil.
A significant jump in factory activity for electronics has helped Singapore's overall manufacturing to expand for the second straight month in August. Economists say this confirms that the electronics cluster's recovery is in full swing and sustainable. But still, some other manufacturing clusters continue to lag behind.
A pandemic-driven surge in digital products and the accelerated requirements for 5G networks have led to a strong demand for chips worldwide. The need for semiconductors pushed the electronics cluster to post the highest reading in 2 years. This is also a first-time expansion after 6 months of contraction. A reading above 50 indicates that there's factory growth, while a figure below that signals the opposite.
Now it's really on a strong recovery path. Semiconductors alone accounts for around 1/3 of total manufacturing, and it will likely be the biggest driver of growth for the sector in 2020.
The support from electronics helped overall factory activity to expand for the second straight month. As electronics contribute to almost 40% of total manufacturing and biomedicals at almost 20%, experts say their performance is critical in picking up the slack from other struggling clusters such as transport, engineering, and chemicals. But the unevenness in growth has affected some workers in the broad sector. August PMI showed the employment sub-index remaining in negative territory for the 7th straight month. This means that employed workforce in the manufacturing sector is shrinking. Experts say it's also a result of the industry transforming towards automation. While this will benefit firms, workers will have to either upskill or switch industries to cope with the changes.
Some clusters like transport equipment, especially
it sounds like workers are going to have to go fuck themselves.
Affected. Yeah. You see some retrenchments there due to the shutdown of air travel.
The manufacturing sector has been investing significantly in automations for the past decade. We are seeing a positive outcome of restructuring. We shouldn't look at the subpar employment sub-index as something negative, and that I don't expect it to rise significantly above 50.
I don't believe his name is Irvin.
The near to medium term.
Experts say pharmaceuticals and electronics are likely to continue to outperform in the coming months, and they will help to prop up the manufacturing sector. But external headwinds caused by a global recession will make it a bumpy road ahead.
So then you go, like the rest of the world is like they're getting their workers back in the factories just long enough to replace them with robots. So that's pretty much what's going on in Singapore and other places. So they saw what happened with the coronavirus, and now they're like, okay, we're back in session, so let's hurry up and invest in automation. So, it's pretty much what's going on in that report, Singapore.
Yeah, that's I just hate to see this constant push towards automation where, it just kind of feels like, we just want to make some money. It doesn't matter, who loses their job. It doesn't matter what the ramifications are for people losing their jobs, because you see when people are unemployed, the crime rate goes up. Some people might want to think that that is a racial thing, but that is just what it is across the board, all around the world. Doesn't matter what the race is. If the employment rate goes down, the crime rate comes up. So a lot of these companies, I just see my bottom line. My bottom line says that the highest overhead cost that I could have, which is labor, I'm getting rid of it. It's good for me and my investors. But then if they get bugged on the street by, the people that they fired because they no longer have, they don't have a way to make money to be able to feed themselves or their kids, then it's like, oh my God, look at all these bad people. Like you can't.
That's pretty much what's happening now.
Yeah, you can't just leave people all fucked up. And then just expect the world to just continue as it is.
Yeah, you have to come up with a way to shape society in a way where it's actually a good thing when you automate away people's jobs. Like when you get rid of 10,000 or 50,000 people in the U.S. whose job it is to do this and that, so that when you call a company, you can get transferred to the sales department. That means that they can actually do something with their life that's other than that. They can, I don't know, they can get a job in media, they can become a personal trainer, they can fix MacBook boards or whatever. There's always something else that could be done, and you don't even really know what those jobs are until your time is freed up. You have to figure out how to manage society in a way where it's a good thing. Like, getting rid of jobs is a beautiful thing. There's less work to be done, which means there's more free time. And I think, 1,000 years from now, we're going to look back on this when you say things like, it's sad that we have automation, and after we've figured this all out, obviously, culturally and then we're going to laugh at this. The idea that, oh crap, there's less work to do. God damn it. Because
yeah, but that's the thing. And like,
ridiculous.
as a kid, you saw automation as like a utopian idea that, like, yes, I'd be able to hang out and chill with my friends because everything's automated. But as you grow up and you start getting work and start getting jobs, and you see how capitalism, see how the United States, see how businesses work, you see all this kind of stuff, you realize, well, I think automation is going to be a nightmare, terminating the world now. But at the same time, automation, the constant automation is supposed to be a positive thing. It's supposed to make our lives much better, than it is now. That allows us to express ourselves and then make money in different ways and create careers that we don't even think of. That's the
Automation's
idea.
beautiful. It's the transition that's the nightmare. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
afraid of the robots. The transition
There's a human cost.
is the issue.
And
this
there's
is
a
what
human
I think
cost
I was
to this.
talking about on the phone the other day, which is when I had a gloomier vision for New York than you did, which it's not even so much let's say that rents do wind up coming down. Let's say the city is not flooded with yuppies that came here because they wanted to become, rich in the movie or music industry, or get heard by this A&R person or whatever, like it was 10 or 12 years ago, where you have to come to New York to get famous. If you get rid of all of them, they all go back to their hometowns. Now they're happier. There's less overcrowding here. All that sounds great. However, there's that transitionary period where there were businesses here and jobs here that were based on the additional revenue they made from those people being here. Their tax dollars were spent on programs that we have already accounted for. We're not used to that money being gone. Managing that transition period is an absolute clusterfuck, because what are you going to do when there's a 20 or 40 or 50 billion dollar hole in the budget where the tax dollars that came from those people overcrowded New York was? With automation, I'm happy and excited at the idea of having less work to do. I'm not happy at the transition when we have an economic system and also I think a cultural system that where we really get a lot of our purpose in life out of the work that we do. So if a robot starts doing what I do, even if I was set for life financially and economically, waking up every day and not having something to strive for is probably going to make me kind of depressed for a while.
You can always roast your balls with a chemical fire. That's always an option.
As well, I'm just too cheap to get the damn spot welder.
So I don't know if you guys heard. I think Whole Foods opened like a supermarket that you can't go to.
Because it's all online orders.
So Phil can drop this next clip. This is actually a clip from African News. So it shows you this is like actual global thing what's happening with the online shopping, grocery shopping, specifically grocery shopping.
Now to our special series, Redesigning the Future. And today we look at the future of shopping. CGTN's Paul Barber explores some of the wholesale changes facing the industry amidst the pandemic.
The effects of the pandemic on retailers are dramatically apparent. Bricks and mortar shops have struggled, with daily headlines on job cuts and store closures across the globe. The big winner has, of course, been digital retail, with record numbers of shoppers going online. The UK supermarket Waitrose says more than 75% of people in the UK now do at least some online grocery shopping.
There's a lot of people.
Shopping will play a key role in the global economic recovery, and remains one of the world's key steps to recovery. In 2020, worldwide retail sales are expected to reach $23.6 trillion, and that's down 5.7% from last year. The lockdown was brutal for high street retailers, but all might not be lost. UK retail sales in July were higher than before the pandemic. Sales in clothing shops grew by nearly 12%, while online shopping fell by 7% in the same month. The pandemic is accelerating longer-term trends. Again, e-commerce continues to thrive. While many retailers are cutting jobs, online giants are expanding. Amazon said it will hire 75,000 new people due to surging demand. It's a similar picture in China, where e-commerce giant Alibaba posted a staggering 124% rise in quarterly profit, despite 7 straight months of declining retail sales in China. So the retail industry has changed dramatically for consumers, companies, and everyone employed by the industry. The real question is, just how permanent will these changes be?
So pretty much, you won't be like smelling your lettuce. You won't be checking out your vegetables or your fruit. You're just gonna like click, 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 check mark, and you get it in a couple of hours. Pretty much, it's just like they're gonna be the online.
I don't know
groceries.
why that doesn't seem like a great thing to me. I don't know, like especially
It
for
doesn't seem like a great
technology. Like
I don't like
especially
that idea.
no, like it's weird. And I'm a technology guy,
Yeah,
but the thought of that, it's just, I'm just no. There just doesn't. It reminds me of that Wall-E movie. I believe that's the movie.
I hate grocery shopping. Honestly, anything that requires I go to a store, I pick out things that are probably not going to be in stock, but I don't have a way to know if they're not in stock until I get there. Then I have to pick out an alternative. Then I have to wait in line. Have you ever waited in line at the Whole Foods near Union Square?
Yes.
I haven't
It's
been
awful.
there a long
It's
time.
awful. There's no way around it. You're a rat in a maze. It's like, if there's any way around that experience, I don't want to go back.
No, but the food goes in your body though. That goes in your body, and like, I want to see it before. I don't know, like at least
I look at my food before I eat it. I just don't gotta look at it before I buy it.
make sure the box wasn't tampered with.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got Waffles over here in the chat thinking that the government is going to insert some shit into your vaccine. Imagine you go to order some online food and they put the vaccine in your they fucking inject your fucking tomatoes with that shit. The fuck you gonna do then? You definitely want to see what's going on with that food before you accept delivery.
Yeah, but that's a great. I mean, but honestly, I was ordering grocery online a couple of times during the pandemic. I ordered some food, and it was weird. They came with some paper bags by my door, and I never seen the person who put it down or the person who picked it at the grocery store. I just got this food.
You didn't even see the person that stole the shit from in front of your door before you can grab it yourself.
The camera's broken in the hallway, so it was an experience, but yeah, I mean, but it's crazy. But that's the thing, that's going to take jobs away. Eventually they're going to figure out how to get like a cart to be able to do that up and down the aisles and not have a person running up and down, grab it, which is pretty much what's happening now. Online shopping, grocery shopping specifically, they have someone in the grocery store run around with a shopper cart and shop for you pretty much. So the next step would be to automate that process.
I was gonna say that. I was like, they're gonna have some robots fucking checking the mangoes.
Yeah. It's good enough for this person. He's black, and put it in there.
But I think one of the things that really bothers me about that kind of future is because I believe that we are losing our humanity, and it's showing in a lot of different ways. And I think that if you continue to take away things that make us human, like walking past people in a store, or there's certain human interactions that only come from these kinds of social institutions, like the laundromat. We all hate the laundromat, but it's a social institution. We all hate standing in line, but that also is a social institution. And I feel like if we move everything to online and we become more and more isolated, I feel like that is bad for our nature as a human being overall.